Right here, I have two kinds of skeleton. One skeleton and second skeleton. This skeleton, the bones are connected, tail to head. Usually we use this kind of the skeleton for organic, such as human arm. Another kind of skeleton. These bones, they are disconnected. Usually we rig hard surface machine like this one. Let's look at this kind of skeleton first. Let me move this arm back to the world original place. All right, like this. Maybe change another material. Okay, now Shift A. You got this panel and find armature. Click this and you will get the skeleton. Press S, you can smaller it. Currently, we are in object mode. If we want to add or place skeleton, we need to go to edit mode. So let's go to edit mode. This one is the head of the bone. And this one is the tail of the bone. Select this tail. We press E, keyboard E. Now we can extrude a new bone. Let's place the bone right here. And then select this bone. Press G. We can move the bone. Click this tail. Press E again. We can extrude another one. Let's place it at the fingertips. Now we rotate. We're gonna move the bone in the center of the arm. You see right now I cannot see my bone, right? Because they are overlapping. So we can go to Object Properties. In Viewport Displays, we can turn on Infront. Now we can X-ray and see the bones. Now we can move the bone and let the bones place in the center of our mesh, like this. So it create a armature for this arm. Currently, it gives us the default name. So we can double click and rename our bone. You can rename whatever you want. I'm just gonna rename it as skeleton arm. Go back to the object mode. We can turn on the name. Now you see the skeleton name. This skeleton name is the name I just renamed. Select this skeleton. And let's go to data property. Turn on these names. We can see the bones name. Currently, the bones name are default. All right, let's go to object properties. We can turn on axis. We can see the axis of our skeleton. Displays as currently it is textured. You can switch it to wire or solid. Assume you want to rig a character and animate your character in Blender. First, you need to have your character, a mesh, and then you create a skeleton. Place your bones in edit mode. Then you need to bind your bones, your skeleton, to your mesh, your character, and then you need to do the skin weight. It's called scaling, and then you pose and animate your character in the pose mode. Currently, I am in object mode. I add and edit my bones in the edit mode. Let's say this is my final skeleton. I want to animate my skeleton. So let's go to pose mode. Now if I select all the bones, press R, I can rotate. Now you see my skeleton, my bones, they are all rotating. And if I rotate to this pose, I can go to pose, clear transform. And my skeleton will go back to the default pose. When I'm rotating, the trial bones are following the parent bones. So bone 002 is the trial bone of bone 001. And these bones are trial of these parent bones. When I'm rotating, the trial bones are following the parent bones. Let's say I want to disconnect bone 002. What we can do is go to edit mode, select bone 002, and then select bone 001. Now press keyboard Alt and P. We can select disconnect bones. And then we can move up bone 002. You see wherever I move the trial bone, the bone 002, there is a line still connect to bone 001. So what this means? This means I just disconnect the bone, but they are still trial and parents. Let's say I place the bone right here. Go to pose mode, select bone 001 and the parent bones. Now if I rotate them, you see bone 002 is disconnected, but whenever they are rotating, they are still rotating together. What if I want to let bone 002 stay here and let the bone does not rotate with the parent bones? What I can do is select bone 002 and then select the tailbone of this bone 001 and then Alt P, choose clear parents. Now go back to pose mode. I rotate bone 001 and this bone. Now only two bones they are rotating, but bone 002 doesn't rotate with other two bones. Let's say I want to connect bone 002 back to bone 001. I can select this bone and then select this bone. Press Ctrl P. I can choose keep offset. Now I rotate them. Now they are rotating together. Let's say I want to make the bone back to the tail. Just select bone 2 and bone 1. Ctrl P, connect it. Now they are tail to head again. And now I select all the bone and rotate. They are rotating together.